Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Heather with Creativity by Heather BE, and today I am over on the Brutus Monroe and we are doing a fall blog hop. So this is the card I created, and I used several ink blendings and this adorable stamp from Unity Stamp Company. It's called Falling Heart, and the leaves are actually connected. As you can see, it's a rubber stamp, and the sentiment in the stamp set I did not use. I actually used a different one. I'm going to use jack-o'-lantern cardstock from Brutus Monroe for the back panel. And then I'm going to do my ink blending on Not Your Mama's cardstock. I love that name, which is also from Brutus Monroe. And this is a 130-pound cardstock. It is so awesome. It's so thick. You can ink blend on it and Copic color on it, and it does not go through. It's awesome cardstock. So for the ink blending, I wanted to do the traditional fall colors. I live in Texas now, but I grew up in West Virginia, so seeing the trees on the mountains and all of the colors kind of blended in together. So I'm going to use Phonebook, jack-o'-lantern, marsala, suede, zest, maple, and macchiato. Those are the colors that I'm going to use, and I'm just choosing which colors I'm going to use from my swatch chart. So I decided I wanted to use some of the small finger daubers to create this look. So I'm not going to show you all of the ink blending. I'm going to show you through each of the colors, and then the rest of it I'm not going to bore you to death with. But I wanted this to not look completely blended through, if that makes sense, because growing up, when I would see the trees on the mountains that had changed colors, they weren't blended in together. You would see a patch of brown, and then all of a sudden a patch of like a pinkish purple color and some yellow, and so they were kind of blended but divided up as well, and so I wanted to kind of give that look. So I am just taking each of my colors and blending them out with the dauber, and I actually had ran out of the daubers, so I had to I bought these really long ones from Michael's, and I kind of like them. You get a lot of control with it. They're different sizes. They were kind of expensive, but they worked. So there's the background. And you can see it almost looks like you're looking through a kaleidoscope, which is what I wanted. I wanted like a fall type kaleidoscope. You're looking at the beautiful changes in the leaves. So for the actual leaves that I'm going to stamp on using the Unity Stamp Company stamp, I'm going to heat emboss that, and I'm going to use the Gilded, which is a gorgeous gold color of embossing powder. What I'm showing you there is, if you have the Misty, this is a rubber stamp. So to take out, I have the pad. If you just have like a pad of paper, to take that out so you've got that depth in your Misty to stamp it. So I'm picking up my stamp. I decided to put it right in the center, and I kind of went back and forth on if I wanted this to be a landscape or a portrait card, and I finally just settled on portrait. So I'm going to heat emboss it with the Gilded, and you'll see when I first put it on here and my ink was still a little bit wet, and so when I first put the Gilded on, it's going to kind of not stay completely on the stamps. So what I did is I turned the camera off and used a paintbrush to just kind of work around the edges, and I actually ended up wiping completely off those bottom two leaves and redoing them. So the tip, and what I learned there, which I know this, I just forgot to do it, is make sure your ink's dry before you try to heat emboss. So you can see there, it's just kind of getting thick down on those two bottom leaves. So I got everything together and then realized I better turn the camera back on. So I'm just heat setting it here. This gold is gorgeous. It really popped and stood out, and I love the stamp set. I love that the little leaves have the hearts in them, which is where the falling hearts come in, but I love that. I think they're so pretty. I am going to use a piece of fun foam for the back. Oh, I also, while I had the camera turned off and forgot to turn that back on, I did stamp out an Autumn Blessings sentiment, and that is from an old Simon Says stamp. I think it came out last year. Stamp set. It had some different leaves in it, and I just wanted a small sentiment to put there, so that's what I used for that. And I just stamped that out in the Raven Detail ink, which is a very crisp black ink, and it's also wonderful for Copic coloring any type of medium. It works really well. So I have my jack-o'-lantern down on my panel, and I'm just going to attach the watercolor panel on top. Obviously I cut it down so I could have some of that border. I'm very big on that. I like to have some type of border for my cards. And I'm going to take my Teflon bone folder, make sure everything's creased down, and that's the card. I love this card. It came out great. I love the fall. When I look at it, it reminds me of home. Because living in Texas, I look outside now, it's 90 degrees and the trees are green. So this really took me back, and I hope it did you too. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the blog and also check out all the other amazing projects from our design team. Have a great day.